Hey everybody, it's old Sam. You know me. I'm chilling. If I'm not chilling, I'm trying to chill. Tonight I'm chilling with a married couple, a couple screenwriters, a couple podcasters. We're gonna get into that. A voice actor, a freelance writer, a social media
worker,
filmmakers. What else you guys do?
I think that covers everything.
Does that sum it up?
That
All right.
sums
I
it
didn't
up.
write it down. But I never do. Welcome to the Advocate, Pascal and Lauren.
Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Yeah. I'll let you guys
Followers.
guess whose voice is whose. You want to let them talk a little bit? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So this is my lovely voice. I'm Pascal.
Okay,
And
I would have guessed Lauren if I was listening.
this is
in.
my lovely voice. I'm also Pascal. So who are you?
Hi, I'm Pascal too. So I like to have my guests explain kind of how they met me, how they know me. Do you guys want to take that?
I'll give it a whack.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if
I
that's
met
what you wanna do.
Sam at school. It was my second semester, and we met in Joy's class, I believe.
Oh yeah,
I believe
a
that was the
joyous
first
occasion.
one. Oh, yeah, that was so fun. That was a great semester.
There was 6 of us in that class
Yeah.
on day 1. 5 of us got A's.
Oh,
She actually
You were
showed up.
there.
no,
for
I
the
was
first
there
day.
for the first day,
Yeah.
for the first 5 minutes, and I walked in and I sat down and I was like, she started writing on the board the prereq that you need to have taken beginning screenwriting already, and I was like, can you take it at the same time? Because at MCTC you can.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And I like packed all my shit up and walked out. I was so mad.
Just, I mean, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
The only critique I got in that class is at Metro State, in our slug lines, we use day and night, not evening, not sunset. And I was like, okay, well, you can do that at Metro State, but I've got dreams,
Good notes. Yeah.
you know, and they're outside of day and night.
Right.
But yeah, we all kind of went through the trenches together, studied screenwriting at a non-traditional university, which is fun.
It was fun. It was fun meeting people, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it was organized the best way
You guys met each other in the program.
in the program. That's how we
So,
met.
At least we have that.
Exactly.
You know, I have a degree, but
Some
this
good
is
came
what
out of it.
this is what I take solace in. You know?
James totally tried to take credit for us getting married. For sure.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Did he want to like officiate your guys' wedding? I could see it.
He wanted to
man.
film it, actually.
Oh no way!
I'm just kidding.
He
For-
asked
yeah.
the videographer at the wedding.
At the end of it, you're like, "Can we get our copy?" He's like, "Oh no, this is for my personal. I'm making a mumblecore film."
Oh, this is just for me. You can't have it. Sorry.
Jokes aside, I learned a good amount about
Oh, for
screenwriting from
sure.
that cat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
broke a lot of. He allowed me to break rules that
Yeah.
I
Right.
was taught at MCTC.
Right.
Did
His
you?
passion is real.
He's definitely a passionate
Yeah.
older man,
Mhm.
which I respect the heck out of.
I do too.
What did you graduate from MCTC or did you just start there?
Yeah, I got my associates from
In-
MCTC. Not in screenwriting, just in my
Oh, okay.
journals. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I knew I liked writing, but I didn't think that was a good career path. And then finally, I was like, what else am I going to do? Let's
Yeah.
be real. Like, I don't like doing anything else. So
No, writing's the best.
yeah,
And it opens doors to like have podcasts and stuff and you know, just I don't know, create in any way you can, maybe.
Oh yeah.
exactly.
I was an economics major, but I wanted to have some
Boo.
more.
Yeah, screw that, dude.
That's what I told myself when I switched to screenwriting. It was a great change. I mean, I met Lauren there, and it
Because
was
he met
really
me.
fun.
Yeah.
Aw.
Mm.
Oddly enough, like when I switched to screenwriting, I got a degree somewhere else for it, but then I met Lauren and that made it all
See,
worth
there
it for
you
me.
go.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Well-
thank you, James, you know, for
Yeah.
allowing me to skip those prereqs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You guys want to get into this nog?
Let's
Oh,
get-
yeah.
Let me do
okay,
that
so
off the
let
top
me-
so it doesn't get warm.
Let me preface this with I was inspired because I actually listened to your podcast with
Well, thank you
Ian
for actually
and I actually listened
Yeah.
to it with Ian and Andrew and Kelvin, and you all couldn't make up your mind whether or not you liked eggnog, but it was leaning towards not. And I think Ian was very passionate about how he hates eggnog. And so I said to myself, they have not had good spiked eggnog from an experienced bartender as myself.
This is spiked?
Oh, hell yes.
All right, well,
Come on.
sober December goes out the window. To be fair, it went out the window
All
on the
right.
first, probably.
Shall we cheers?
All
Can we
right,
get
yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's there.
Not a satisfying.
What's this
thing.
around the the rim?
This is Demerara sugar around the rim. So it's like sugar in the raw.
Sugar on the raw. All right. Stay tuned, everybody. We're going to drink some nog.
Oh, shit.
It's thick. It's very tasty, though.
It's got some bourbon and Kahlua rum, obviously, some vanilla extract, and clove, nutmeg, cinnamon.
So what makes the
works.
nog?
Oh, and eggnog. I put some
Okay,
eggnog
so
in
there's
it too.
actual eggnog in there, too. You got to cut it with something, you know. No, this is very good. It's frothy. Yeah, thank you.
Are you
This
just
is
trying
a
to be
fun treat.
polite?
No.
Do you really hate it?
I'm a huge fan of telling people exactly what I think the moment I think it. It's a flaw.
Oh.
Is
Yeah.
it a blessing or is it a flaw?
No,
Oh,
it's a
you
flaw.
you have a flaw. The,
I have a
the
flaw. This is
eggnog
great.
not a flaw. Okay,
No,
I
it's
got you.
flawless.
Okay.
I don't know if I could drink like 2 cups of it.
You're going to.
Oh,
All right. I was going to say it might be a bit much. But
We tie him
was
up
like,
in
oh my
tinsel.
God.
We like.
I could only drink 1 cup.
I-
so it's delicious though.
Thank you.
I love it. I have to.
He has to say that.
Yeah.
you do, don't you? Is that a
Yeah.
part of married
Yeah.
life?
That's one of the things
There's
I
2
agreed to.
breakfasts that I've made him that he told me he did not like, and they were really bad.
Someone's
to be fair.
someone's making you breakfast and you have the huevos to say I don't like that.
I had to be truthful.
What were these breakfasts? I'm a breakfast
Okay,
head. I'm a
so
bit of a foodie.
I was. It's when I get a little too experimental, and I will admit it was a mistake. I tried to put cream cheese in the eggs.
Ooh, cream cheese
A
goes
lot
well with like
cream
chicken.
cheese.
You know, like an egg that's been born and raised, and then killed and grilled. But yeah, I don't know, cream cheese. Were you just missing cheese, and you're like, maybe this will?
She
I
loves
don't
the
know what I
cheeses.
was thinking.
She
I
gets
really
real
don't know.
experimental with cheese. Let's just say.
I do. I
White
do.
people love cheese.
Yeah, it's
is
true.
a thing.
I like
That's,
cheese too.
that's not a lie.
good.
That is
Who
a
doesn't like
factoid.
cheese? Was it? I mean, at least it was like plain cream cheese, or maybe like
was-
jalapeno or a vegetable.
No, it was plain.
It was plain, an entire container of plain.
An entire container
with
of cream.
Whiter than
3
me.
eggs. There was barely any egg. It was basically
It was a
just
very
melted
wet
cream cheese.
omelet.
Yeah, that
very
sounds
wet.
a bit
Ew.
aggressive.
I'm just kidding. I'm exaggerating.
But it could have been pretty good. Maybe less cream
No,
cheese
it was,
next time.
I can't ever see that going well. It was so bad.
All right.
You give it a whirl sometime.
Sure. I'll let you know. I
Send
probably
me,
won't
send
do
me
I
a
don't,
snap. Show
I
me
don't
what it
eat
looks
breakfast.
like. I bet you it'll be wet.
Oh, it's so wet, dude. So wet. In my world, wet means good and cool.
mine, it means good and warm.
Sure. Yeah. A bit inappropriate for, this is a children-friendly podcast.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way, Sam. I
No,
don't know
me
where you
either.
got
My
that
mind
from.
always goes there. It derives from an evening I asked my buddy, I was like, how was the show? Dude sweats a lot, right? He
Oh, yeah.
throws his shirt at me. It's sopping.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness! Wow.
Disgusting. Pretty wet. And he's like, pretty wet. And so it went from there, and
great.
it always kind of goes in that surfer octave. Pretty wet. But, so you guys can use that if you want. You don't have to. Just give me and my buddy Adam a little bit of credit.
Okay.
We're doing it. Putting it in.
Yeah.
One of our episodes will have that. In
Pretty
there. We'll give you
wet.
credit. We'll throw it in real sneaky. So
That'd be great.
We'll have to,
We have 2
Pay
more
close
left to
attention.
record, so we'll have to slip that in.
Slip it in. Slide it in. All right. This is a perfect segue.
Oh, yeah.
Episodes.
Yeah.
Episodes of what?
Minnesota Mysteries.
Minnesota Mysteries.
Is it-
Do you remember the intro?
I do.
All right, let's hear it.
You want some theme
Wait,
music?
do I?
Oh, do you have any spooky theme music?
I was just gonna make noises.
Oh no, yeah,
Make
do
noises.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sing or are you just gonna do the voiceover?
It's a
I
voiceover.
was just gonna do the voiceover, but
All right.
welcome to the next episode of Minnesota Mysteries, where we
attempt to shed light.
on some of the dark corners of Minnesota's history, and then we go into what the episode is about. So
That's not
Cool,
it.
yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
something like that.
Could you say it again? I was focused on my music. I didn't really pay attention.
Welcome to Minnesota Mysteries. I can't even think of what it is
Welcome
either.
to
now.
another episode of Minnesota Mysteries, where we attempt to shed light on some of the dark corners of Minnesota's history. Tonight, we will be and then
I like that
investigating
mystery and
this.
history kind of rhyme.
Yeah.
You have internal
Yeah.
rhymes.
It's got a little jingle to it,
Yeah.
Little corny, spooky intro.
But we were trying to think of a good intro song, or he's gonna
We
be
got
working on his
something. I'm
intro,
gonna
and I
make
think
it.
that we have
Make it.
one, Sam.
Yeah, I'll just rip this from the MP3 and send it to you guys in an email or a Dropbox or something. You can toss it in there. So these aren't mini mysteries, are they? What's your episode length looking at?
They're all around. I think the longest one is maybe around 20 minutes, but they're 25.
They're
and that-
between 15 and 20 minutes on average.
Okay.
Yeah, we get to it. We just want people to know some creepy stuff about Minnesota. If you're an enthusiast, or if you just like creepy stuff.
Big fan of
That's-
creepy stuff.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
spooky stuff.
It's like true crime and stuff is blowing up in this world, this podcast world. So I'm staying as far away from it as I can. I want to pioneer crappy improv podcasts because there aren't enough of those.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Did you think about calling it a mini Minnesota Mysteries and making it like a three?
We didn't add the
reaching out to
mini.
3M, another Minnesota-based brand, and saying, "Hey, 3M, we're a 3M.
Ooh.
Let's get some
I see
sponsorship."
I see this.
Wow.
I like this
Yeah.
idea.
We have to switch up our
do.
branding now.
You guys have
We'll see.
branding?
No.
Because
No,
this
we made all
episode
these-
is
I made all
brought to
these
you by your
shirts and-
nog. Like that's as much sponsorship as I have, but I'm trying to get my parents to just pay my hosting fee, but they hate this thing. They're like, "No, we hope you go broke doing it. You have to give up." But
Oh, I hope our parents listen.
yeah,
We'll see.
Yeah.
they will. They want to see you succeed, and if they have to
Yeah.
be one play a week, one play a month, they'll do it. I imagine if your parents are anything like mine, and they hate comedy, so I'm sure your parents at least like mystery a little bit.
Oh yeah. I think my mom.
Some good, clean fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might need to download the podcast app for them and subscribe for them. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
play for them.
Do it
but-
all for them.
Like-
Listen for them too. Right?
Yeah. You don't have to listen to it.
What was the hardest thing for you when you first started podcasting? Was it like, it's so difficult for me to listen to my own voice?
I fell in love with my own voice
Oh.
immediately. But I've been wanting to hear myself talk for my whole life. Every teacher growing up would have said that. Hardest part, I think, was just kind of learning to talk to myself for those first 10, 15 episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Because I'd do 10 minutes and I'd need to take a break and be like, I don't know if I have any more content. And I'd come back to it. Whereas now,
Yeah.
I haven't done a solo in a while. I think the last one was probably a month ago, but I can do 45 minutes,
Yeah.
straight, just talking and riffing and
Nice.
goofing off. I think telling good jokes was a really tough thing, but that's kind of why I started this, was to develop a voice. I don't know. This is
Fun. Yeah.
When are we releasing this?
When?
Yeah.
As soon as you can, buddy.
Okay. All right. So it'll be the week after. It'll be the Christmas week.
Oh, when
Sounds
are we
good.
releasing ours?
No.
This episode.
No, he was talking.
I was
about
talking about this
Oh,
episode.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Whenever you can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
'cause we're gonna drop our first episode is gonna be the first Friday in January.
Sweet.
First
Yeah.
Friday of
The
new year.
4th,
So
January
this'll be-
4th.
January 4th. Yep.
This will be the last episode of 2018.
Wow,
How about that?
that is special.
Special.
So-
I feel so lucky.
I hope everybody had a good Christmas, because we got to pretend like it's December 26th now.
Okay.
Did you guys get any good presents?
Yeah, we are
Oh, yeah.
setting up a studio, basically, in our office room in our house.
Sound studio or visual?
Visual.
Visual.
We've got a backdrop, a green screen, a white backdrop, and a black backdrop, and we have 3-point lighting and
That's a great start.
dolly.
Oh yeah, we're getting a shotgun mic and then
You have
a
a
boom
dolly?
and stuff
Yeah.
a little
Alright.
later.
You can get a
but-
dolly on Amazon for like $40.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've just never looked for one. We just got a camera, so that's still new to me, let alone things to move it.
Right.
It came with a bag. That should be good enough. What's been the hardest part about podcasting for you guys?
I think getting started and even
finding our flow with each other.
Yeah.
And figuring out when each other are going to interrupt each other and when the breaks in the conversation can happen. And I was telling Pascal the other day, or just yesterday actually, that when I was
Christmas?
Yes,
Christmas
yesterday.
Day?
I told him on Christmas, I was like, Pascal, I noticed that when we're doing our podcast, I slur kind of my words together a little bit. Like just my natural speaking voice is
Too
a
much
little
nog.
slurry. It seriously sounds like I'm drunk or something, or like I had a stroke. I don't know. And so
Is it just the speed? Like, do you talk too quickly?
I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't know when it started happening because in my head, I feel like I'm speaking really clearly. And so I've been making a point to try and enunciate my words a little bit more. So hopefully that when you
But you don't
play
want to
this
sound
back.
like a freak weirdo. You know?
I think she sounds fine. in
Welcome to
episodes, but-
Minnesota Mysteries podcast. Like
Welcome.
that's lunacy.
Well,
That
I
would be
also, I
lunacy.
was, do you ever watch SNL?
I've been known to
90s
check out-
SNL?
Yeah. Okay.
So when I think of podcasting, I guess, and whenever I hear like a woman's voice on a podcast, it's always very like NPR. And
Absolutely.
Sort of, like very monotone and like controlled laughter. They probably look a little bit like Tina Fey and they lactate almond milk.
Hey,
my
that sounds all
goodness.
right. Are these women single? You know, Tina Fey looking almond milk lactate and podcasters. I'm just trying to chill. That sounds all right.
But it's like I don't know, like I was like, why do they talk that way? And then I listen back to myself and I'm like, realize also when I laugh I'm like a mouth breather laughing kind of thing, or I'm like and I'm like, Jesus Christ, we can't even hear anybody over my breathing laughing. It's so bad.
That's good though. I usually tell guests to remember to laugh on mic.
Oh.
Because if people, and this is a trick, listeners, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If they hear you laughing, they're so dumb that they know it's funny, you know?
It's like a laugh track.
Yeah. So I
Now's
don't
when
care
you
about the
laugh.
sound quality of what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
But when you laugh, just keep
was-
it uptight.
That was my main thing though when we first started podcasting, because I'm sitting here with Mr. Voice Actor and he walks in and he's like Minnesota Mysteries and I'm like
I just try and be as corny as I possibly can be.
it's like talking in his voice acting voice. Huh.
Is that
That's
all you
exactly.
say?
That's why I warm
Oh, that's your warm up.
Huh. I'm Pascal.
How many voices
That's how it
can you do? And do you do them on the podcast?
Ooh, I don't. I do my regular voice plus and minus a little bit of octaves, you know. So sometimes
Okay,
my voice will crack. and I'll
So
go, and then I'll come
non-monotone
back to-
talking.
Sometimes I get up here where I'm skeptical.
Exactly. But I'd say it's all my natural voice, but I can do plenty of other voices. But
So I listen to this true crime podcast called Last Podcast on the Left. Are you guys familiar?
No.
Check it out. It's incredible. It's very funny. One of the hosts specializes in doing the voices. So he'll play Charles Manson. He'll do the voices of serial killers. And it enhances the podcast by like 1,000.
oh my gosh, I would
So-
definitely want to take a look at that.
Check it out. The Charles Manson's a 4-parter. It's definitely worth it.
How long are those episodes?
Hour 20.
Oh dang.
Yeah. They go super in depth. And this is not brought to you by Last Podcast on the Left. This is not a Cave Comedy Radio publication or Last Podcast Network, which I guess is. But hey, Henry, Marcus, Ben, if you guys want to sponsor me,
You
just
know all their names.
I do. I listen to it weekly. I feel like I'm good friends with them.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah.
it's the top listened to podcast in the country, I think. Or it
Oh.
has the widest spread. You know? I don't know.
I was
We'll
listening to
have to check it out. Then.
Yeah, we have to check that out. I was listening to My Favorite Murder, and
It's just like that, but like 10
Okay.
times better.
okay, good.
Yeah. Because those ladies, is it 3 ladies that do?
I listened to one episode and it was 2 ladies and they were doing the NPR voices.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me to get into it.
It's a lot of good content, but their voices.
Yeah,
Maybe we're just conditioned to not like women's voices.
I guess so.
I think that's
Okay.
facetious, but also true.
Oh,
You know?
speaking of which, am I the first woman on your podcast?
You are.
Oh my
Not,
gosh.
not that I haven't tried. You know, my neighbor Reese is a fun. She listens a lot. We just haven't been able to hook up and do it.
Okay.
And that's about it. You know, but I'm gonna reach out more. I've been doing stand up, so I've been meeting some funny ladies.
Where have you
Oh,
been doing
nice.
stand up?
Terminal Bar in Northeast Minneapolis, Thursdays, 8 to 10.
Okay.
What?
We're gonna
Yeah.
have to show up sometime.
I do
Yeah.
a full 2 hours. It's just
No
me.
No,
way.
you don't.
No,
We're
wouldn't
gonna
that,
be
that'd
up
be
Oh my
there.
God.
so that'd be so unbearable. I can't even
He's
listen to my.
just one man show up there for 2 hours.
No, I start off. I do some character work. It's really silly and dumb, and then I tell a few jokes.
Can you do any
sounds great.
impressions?
Yeah.
Let's hear a. Can you do Chris? Can anyone do Christopher Walken?
So there's an episode
No.
from late February where I do a Christopher Walken impression to start it off.
Oh
It's
my
after
gosh.
the homies Andrew and Adam and Justin. We came back from LA,
Uh-huh.
and I was pretending that Christopher Walken came with me and took it over. But give me a phrase to say as Christopher Walken. Let me try this out.
Okay, well, it was just Christmas, so let's do
Your father gave me this golden watch, and I held it up my butt for 5 years, and I cut the heads off the chickens. I don't know. I apologize.
It's good,
That's
dude.
not
I like
bad.
it.
I can't do Christopher Walken at all.
I can't either.
I don't even do Christopher Walken. I do that compilation videos of Asian
I
dudes.
saw that when
doing
you said
Christopher
the,
Walken.
You said the chicken thing, and it reminded me of that
Yeah.
video. Yeah.
I don't organic. I'm out of it, but I can usually do an impression for like 15 seconds, and then it falls into like Irish, which is an impression in itself. I'm doing Paul Rudd from "I Love You, Man." Is all of his.
He sounds like a leprechaun.
Yeah. Jamaican.
Yeah.
Do you do any
Slap in the
voices?
bass. A slap in the bass.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. My Christopher Walken would be I take the pony in the back.
Whoa, what the?
I don't
are you
know what I'm
saying?
All right, yeah, that was something.
So that's
don't know if it's
that's
Christopher
me
Walken,
trying to
but-
do an impression. It's not good. I can do like singing impressions, but I need to be I need instrumentals.
Sure.
Like I could do a
You
really
want me to do
bad,
some music for you?
Really bad Celine Dion. I can do Britney Spears, I think, in my head.
How's that Britney Spears song go, Pascal?
Let me think.
Which one?
Oh, which one? There's so many good ones.
know. I'm not a
Do
Spears
like
head.
Hit Me Baby one more time. Does anyone? No one knows the instrumentals.
No.
Hit Me Baby one more time.
Every song would be better with horns and a synthesizer. Does that song have horns or a synthesizer?
I
Probably
don't
is a
know.
synthesizer, but I have no
A
idea.
that's kind of like an '80s thing.
It's like an
Still
80s
using.
thing. I mean, they're around. They're
Yeah.
big in the indie scene. Yeah, there's a whole. You guys ever listen to synth pop?
I can't say I've ever heard of that.
All right. I'm gonna end this with a
Clearly
fun
you
little
do.
fun little synth pop track by a band called Hoops, and so you can hear it then. It's great. What kind of music you guys into?
I went to my first concert, which was a Nine Inch Nails concert.
Your first concert?
I had never been to a concert
I
before.
didn't realize I was hanging. Lauren, I didn't realize you married a 13-year-old. Your first concert at what? 25, 24,
23.
23.
I'm just kidding. 24.
I was like, wow.
Like it
I
makes
didn't-
a huge
You were
difference.
21 when we
A
met?
baby is a baby.
Yep.
Okay,
It
maybe
was-
it's just me. I'm a concert head.
I am now. I
It was great.
was 4 rows from the front, and then everyone started jumping around when Nine Inch Nails came out, and I got pushed way up front, and everyone around me was significantly shorter than me, so I was right like 10 feet away from him.
Did
It
they
was
play?
amazing.
Did they play any tracks off of the Social Network soundtrack?
No, because I believe that's
Dang,
Trent
dude.
Reznor and Atticus Ross officially.
Is
Nine Inch
Trent
Nails.
Reznor in Nine Inch Nails, or did I mess that
He
up?
made Nine Inch Nails. Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah.
What about you? You a concert head?
No, I don't like big crowds of people, loud music. I've been to.
You're just an old lady.
I know. I went to I think my first concert was In Sync when I was little. And then I went to. I've been to. What's that band? D'Antwoord. I've been to them twice.
Oh, those weirdos.
Yeah, I
Really?
love them. Yeah, I went to them. It was D'Antwoord featuring, or no, it was Too Much Love featuring D'Antwoord at 7th Street Entry.
Oh, cool.
And then I saw them again at a festival, and I will never go to a festival again because it's like disgusting.
I would not
Bonnaroo.
like the festival scene, I don't think.
Everyone was just sweaty and on drugs, and like it was so gross.
Right?
It was just disgusting. And porta
And I don't
potties
like sweating.
everywhere.
7th Street is my favorite venue of all time.
Yeah.
I don't like DeAntwoord, but that would be an incredible show in
It's
such a small venue.
haunted.
Is it?
Well,
Really?
for
Is that
staff,
is that a little teaser?
it's haunted. Not this season, but I mean, we'll have to cover it eventually because there's only so many haunted places in Minnesota.
It's true.
Yeah.
Are you guys mostly doing hauntings?
No, we want to switch it up a little. So we're doing true crime, paranormal,
Monsters, aliens.
yeah.
I think that's pretty much covers it all.
Okay.
There's not many aliens or monsters, but there's a few.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then most of it's paranormal and true crime.
What's that Native American urban legend animal?
The Wendigo.
The Wendigo?
That's
You gonna
one of
dive
the
into
episodes
that?
we did already.
Right on.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
This alt-right cuck boy that I went to MCTC with wrote a script about a Wendigo. It was called The Wendigo. It was
Isn't there a movie already out called The
I'm
Wendigo?
sure there's a movie
Probably.
and several stories published called The Wendigo.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. I don't know if he ever finished it, but I can't imagine it was great.
That's
I don't think people that spend a lot of time on 4chan are the most creative or thought-provoking people. But what do I know? You know, I only use Facebook.
Oh, that nog is thick.
It's thick,
It's
but
quite thick.
What's
Quite
white
thick.
I said quite.
I thought he said white as well.
Maybe it came out that way.
What is that?
How many episodes is the first season?
10.
10 episodes?
10 episodes.
And you're going to do week after week, one a month?
Yep, they're all wrapping up in the next week and a half, and then we'll start releasing them every week, every Friday,
Sweet.
Yep.
starting
was
January,
it
first week in January.
January
5th?
4th.
January 4th.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Have you reached out to like sponsors or anything yet?
We
I
have
was
not.
actually thinking today that we should see if IFA will.
Was that International
It's
Forensic
it's a-
Association?
It's it's Vietnamese.
It's right next to Ichido.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
PH.
Yeah.
Oh, with the little
Yep.
thingy.
Yeah, it's like iPhone.
You guys love that
Oh.
hot soup.
I know.
Oh, absolutely.
It's good.
We've gone
We're
there so
there
many times.
all the time. Like I don't know how
They
many
know
times
us
we
there.
just they don't even give us
They don't
menus
give us menus.
before
They know
we're
what
even
we're
sitting
getting.
down.
Even though
They're
we
like-
change it up
But
every
you know
few
that
days,
yeah.
they know. They just have a
They're like,
just
all right,
mentally know.
coffees, 2 chicken pho, egg rolls today. We're like, no, yeah, sure, yeah, thanks.
throw a banh mi. in
Egg
there.
rolls. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's great. You know, this episode's not brought to you by IFA,
Mhm.
but you guys' poo-poos and pee-pees are every now and then.
Exactly.
And your initials are PP.
That's true. They are.
Oh, man. Did you get made fun of for that growing up?
This is the first time, actually.
Is
I'm
there-
just
I'm
kidding.
not
No, it's
making
not.
fun.
I've got made fun of plenty of times for that. And I'm like, my middle initial's K, actually. So it's BKP. It's not PP. There's a K in the middle. Stop making fun of me, guys.
That's cool,
So
though.
matter of fact.
In that voice too.
But
That's how
did
my
they
voice
ever
used to
call
sound
you,
when I was
like-
younger.
Pascal K. Dick, then? Like Philip K. Dick, or were kids too? I don't know. Maybe that doesn't play. But and your initials are LP.
Yep.
Do people ever confuse you for the rapper in Run the Jewels? LP?
I mean, they've only been my initials for 6 months, so not yet.
I suppose. Wait, who's that over there? Is that LP, the famous rapper?
However,
Nope, just Lauren.
my my initials used to be LTM, and now they're LTP, and I just think TP,
Yeah.
TP,
TP and PP.
TP, and PP.
What are your guys' middle names? T and K.
Oh, my middle name is Cootie Cat. Like kitty cat, but
With
with
U's.
a U in it.
Look at the little
Yeah.
goody cat.
Little goody cat.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a region in India where my grandma's Portuguese, or my great grandma's Portuguese. So my grandma is half Portuguese, half Indian. My grandpa's Indian. My dad's a quarter Portuguese. And my mom is white. So I'm a whole mix of stuff. You guys do the math.
Yeah, I'm not great at math.
I'm white, and my middle name is Therese.
All right. Also white, middle name's Peter. Good to be here. Yes, Peter's another name for wiener. I'm well aware.
Is it?
I don't know. It's from The Ringer.
It's got a P in it.
A Peter.
Yeah.
A little Peter. A little pecker.
Yeah.
Pecker Peter. Peter Pecker.
Spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You guys got anything else you want to dive into in the podcast about podcasts or just?
I would like to know what your traditional, or if you have like a holiday movie for this time of year that you watch regularly every year.
Oh man, so I hate Christmas.
Oh.
Okay.
Really trying to not hate Christmas this year. Doing a good job of it. I've been listening to a lo-fi vaporwave Christmas playlist, so everything's chopped up and slowed down. It's very chill.
Nice.
So I always tell people when they ask me my favorite Christmas movie, I say Mean Girls.
Ooh.
Because there's that one scene where they all dance like sexy Santas.
Whoa, spoiler alert.
You've
For
never
anyone-
seen Mean Girls?
I'm probably the only person who's never
It's
seen it.
a great movie.
Yeah, he needs to watch it. I don't
Everyone
understand
says
what's
it's
wrong
great.
with it.
Tina Fey
You need
wrote
to
it.
watch
Yeah.
Tim Meadows plays an incredible principal.
He's not. Well, here's the thing though too. He had never seen SNL up until we were together because I showed it to him.
It's true.
So these references mean nothing to him.
I know
He's
what
like,
they
who?
are. I've
Who?
heard-
What?
I
What?
don't say that.
He didn't know who Tim Meadows was until The Office in the episode where they go to Chili's.
Oh, for sure.
And I was like, that's Tim Meadows. What do you mean? You have
who
to
is
laugh
that?
when he's on screen. And he was like, why am I don't, who is this?
He
And I
was funny in the
yeah,
office,
he's
though.
hilarious.
Super funny. He's funny in everything.
Yeah.
He's a very funny guy.
Come on, what's wrong with you? He's funny.
Just know who Tim Meadows is.
Get it.
Okay,
you
fine.
need to laugh when we laugh.
I'm getting a tattoo that says Tim Meadows.
You
on
should,
my
dude.
Armpit.
My dad had a football coach whose name was Tim Meadows. No, it was Luke Meadows. Never mind. Let's say that he looked nothing like Tim Meadows, but that
And
makes
his
sense.
name wasn't Tim Meadows.
No.
Good story.
Thank you. I specialize in good stories. I graduated with 3.6.
Do you want more
Metropolitan
nog?
State.
Or are you giving it to me? You hate it.
I love it, but I also have to drive home.
There's not enough alcohol in there for you. You just don't like it.
I like it.
I'm gonna get you liquored up on
All
nog.
right, I'll force it down.
We be
I'm just kidding,
noggin.
I'm not.
Do it.
Is this your first fight? Am I witnessing it?
You're witnessing it. Everyone's witnessing it. I don't want your nog anymore, honey.
You don't like it. I know you don't.
I'm sick of your nog.
Tell me the truth. You hate my sisters.
I think you just told the truth. What are you looking to get out of having a podcast?
I am strictly doing it for the fun of doing it. I just like hearing the sound of my own beautiful voice. I think it's
That's great.
great.
Yeah.
I love it. I just want something to fall asleep to every night.
Sure. You're sick of talking to yourself until you fall asleep.
I'm editing Lauren out. It's just going to be
You
me.
motherfucker. I'll tell you what I want. I want the fame. I want the money. I want the recognition. Just kidding.
I think podcast's the wrong medium.
I know.
for you
She
then.
doesn't want all that.
No, I'm obsessed with spooky stuff, all things spooky. I love watching unsolved mysteries stuff, and I love researching things. I love reading scary stories too close to bedtime. I love freaking myself out.
Waking me up because
Waking
she's
him up
scared in the
'cause I'm
middle of the
scared.
night.
Yep.
And she's like
So
a small
naturally,
child.
This was, okay.
I'm just kidding. You're a grown child.
It was just
a
the
big
next,
child.
Yeah, the next step.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's just, I love it.
It's fun learning some history and stuff too, which we share a little bit of our knowledge of the history surrounding each case, and it's fun to just research and hear different people's opinions because there's a lot of opinions out there.
Yeah.
So when you go into it, are you like, do you have an outline, or you just kind of riff on the subject and do your own research?
So when we actually start recording, we have basically an outline, and we kind of branch off of that. We write. I'd say it's kind of specific. Like there's beats and points we want to address, and they're kind of all outlined in a rough order, and we just kind of go off of that. Once the conversation starts flowing, it starts flowing.
Yeah. We have the story written out.
Oh,
We take turns telling each other a story.
Okay.
Kind of like campfire style,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess. And so like one of us has the outline written out. We've done our research that week, and we share the story with the other person.
Right.
And then outside of the story, the outline that we have, then like Pascal was saying, we just kind of riff off of each other.
So one of you goes in blind every week, like
Yep.
you know the subject, but not necessarily.
Yep.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
That'll create a fun dynamic.
Yep.
And, hopefully people are super stoked about, like, both of you hosting or leading the episodes, because it'd be weird if someone was like, yo, man, Pascal, you're great, but you ask better questions than you do research.
They're like, fuck, Lauren's hosting this time. I'm skipping this week.
Like, bring that Sam guy back. He didn't talk about anything. But that's how Last Podcast does it. 2 guys research, 1 does voices, 1 like outlines and leads the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 3rd guy doesn't read the outline and he just asks questions.
Oh, cool. I
And-
like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it creates a fun dynamic.
Yeah.
Because if everybody knows everything, you're just going to shout over each other to say the fun stuff.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's really cool. I mean, I'm doing this for the fame and the fortune.
Mm-hmm. How's
you
that
know.
going?
It's going great. I
Good.
got a fan email.
Did you?
Yeah,
No
I got
way.
these stickers made. You guys can take a
No, you-
handful of those.
Oh my gosh, nice.
From a fan?
No, I made those myself.
Oh, are
And-
you your number 1 fan?
No, my mom is. I'm
Oh,
I'm 3rd.
that's cute.
My number 2 fan is listener 900786549, based out of the Czech Republic.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure it's a bot,
you
but they
making that?
listen
Oh.
a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you
yeah.
see all of the analytics through SoundCloud or?
Yep. So SoundCloud gives me analytics. You need to download an app for that. It's called
Okay.
Pulse. Super useful. I can show you guys before you take off.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Spotify has like a beta website that you can get into, and it shows you how many listeners, how many streams. A stream is a start that plays for longer than 60 seconds. A play is like 90% or more.
Oh, okay, cool.
Um,
They actually listened to it, or at least let it play out in the background
Yep.
while they did the dishes or something.
And I don't know about like iTunes. I haven't been able to get any feedback from that, but I've only been on these services for 6 months maybe.
Right.
And so eventually once iTunes has enough data, they'll start feeding that back to me.
Okay.
That being said, hey, if you're listening, idiots, like and subscribe and leave a comment and rate it and make fun of me so I can read it on air and call me an idiot or whatever.
Click
but-
below, smash that like, hit subscribe.
Yeah, smash that like button, fam. And I haven't even looked into like Stitcher or TuneIn. I'm on those as well, but I don't really care
Okay.
about analytics. I know there are people that listen. I know they enjoy it.
Mhm.
I think like over the summer I was getting like 1,500 listens a month.
Damn.
Over, I mean that's 4 episodes, so
Yeah.
400 or 500 people over 4 or 5 different streaming sources.
Yeah.
That's a kind of a brag, but also it's not about that. It's about people laughing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, connecting
And-
with people through this way.
Yeah, and like you guys want to spook people out,
Exactly.
so do I.
Yeah.
With laughter. I don't know. Maybe a fun little tidbit. I didn't like horror growing up. It scared me, like
Me
it does
too.
everybody. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
scary.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, my homie Gus showed me Cabin in the Woods and Evil Dead. We did it back to back, right? And I
Yeah.
fell in love with the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Those are both very funny and scary, and they kind of have a twist on your typical horror.
Right.
But I realized at that moment, and then I Googled it later, that the same part in your brain that like makes you scared is the same one that makes you laugh. And so now I have this weird twist in my head where I can't watch horror movies without laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a psychopath. But I don't know. I found that to be very interesting because like,
Well, there is science behind that, and you can find that in Monsters Inc.
okay,
When
it's a scary movie.
when have you seen Monsters
Oh no,
Inc?
I know what you're talking about.
Have you seen Monsters Inc, Sam?
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
they switch the end and they start getting laughs instead of
They start
screams.
capturing the kids' laughter instead of capturing the
Power of the
screams.
Doors.
For sure.
Yep.
Isn't that cool?
I haven't seen that movie in a long
It's a
time.
great movie.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah. Who played Sully?
Oh, he can do
John Goodman.
John Goodman. There
What's
you go.
her name? Roz.
Oh god.
Do Roz.
Do
You
it.
forgot to file
Let's see
your
if I
paperwork.
can do it.
You forgot to file your paperwork, Wazowski.
Those are both very good. And again, I haven't seen the movie in over a decade,
Oh,
but
okay. You have.
I've seen it. Yeah,
You
Hopefully I
have
didn't just
seen it.
blow everyone's ears out.
I don't
It
know.
did,
I don't know.
but-
It's weird doing this without headphones on.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like we're all more present.
Yeah,
We're forced to look at each other in the eyes and hear each other's voices.
Do you guys listen? Do you record with headphones? With
I do
cans?
record. Yep, I do.
He wears the headphones no matter who's speaking.
That's true. So I can
Do you
monitor
run
everything.
the sounds and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
I
don't
just
know what
set
I'm
'em.
doing.
Set them to, I don't know, top. And hope it's not too loud.
They've sounded good.
Thank
All
you.
Oh
of
yeah,
them, I've
absolutely.
liked- they've
They sound
fine,
great.
Yeah.
Great quality.
I don't think people care that much. You know, if it's funny, if it's
Yeah.
interesting,
Yeah.
if it's spooky, you know, they'll deal with sound issues here and there.
Yep.
Right. And this is such a comfy setup you
Really
got.
This
here,
is kind of
man.
cool, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
really love it.
I love it. Yeah.
You're sitting on the floor, which is kind of weird, but
Well, I let him sprawl out.
I guess you made the nog. You had to be.
I can.
Yeah. I don't know. A couple of questions about voice acting, maybe, and then
absolutely.
freelance writing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you voice act, you're not doing like characters, are you? You're-
That is my end goal. I've done a couple characters for a couple different gigs, but nothing that big. My goal is to be in video games as different characters.
Cool.
I'm a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
Nolan North and Troy Baker fan.
No
Those are
idea
like
who
two of
those
my
are.
heroes.
But
They're video game voices and a lot of stuff.
what voices do they do?
Oh man.
Mario.
The Penguin is Nolan North. Drake from Uncharted is Nolan North.
Okay.
He's in a billion things. Troy Baker is in The Last of Us, I believe.
Those are just dudes doing voices of
so many-
of dudes, right?
And monsters. And
Okay.
They do have such a large range of voices that they can do, and that's what I.
Was the girl in The Last of Us? Was that Ellen Page?
She looks like her, but I don't know if the voice was.
Okay.
I don't
The
know.
likeness is there, though, right?
Oh, I think the likeness is there too. Ellen Page was in a different video game. I am blanking on the title of that.
Hard
right now.
Rain? Was it that one?
No.
Those are the two video games that I know, and Uncharted and Snake. Well, we're putting together a little goof around children's podcast storytelling video series. So if
Give
you
me a
want to come
shout.
do
Absolutely, give me a shout.
storybook characters,
Definitely.
if you ever want to be on the podcast and play a character, anything, let me know.
Okay,
the door's
I
always
will.
open.
Absolutely.
But currently, you're just kind of like,
I use my natural voice and I read reviews of video games and movies and entertainment stuff.
just for like
For a company.
seeing impaired people. Like
Yeah.
they want
Basically,
to hear that stuff.
yeah. But other people listen too. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And people will agree. The phones are off the hook. You've got a great voice for this.
Oh, thank
Both
you.
of you. You know, they're not. I mean, I haven't been listening through the headphones, so I'm.
You'll find out later.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, "Damn it, I take it back." He texts me. He's like, "I really take it back."
While we're at it, your nog was bad.
We're throwing the episode out. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll have to redo that. But do you freelance write full time? Is that your main gig? Well, I guess.
Oh,
social
buddy,
media.
oh, pal. I have a couple of jobs. So one of them is freelance writing. It's I write SEO articles, mainly about car dealerships.
Woof.
Super luxurious stuff.
What's E SEO?
Search engine optimization. So you get a keyword and you place it strategically in the article so that it shows up when you search those specific words on
Okay.
the first page. So that's super interesting. And then I also do, I'm a copywriter for another company. And then I do social media for another company. And then I just got a job at a digital marketing agency doing video production that's going to start in January. So lots of different
Hells
part-time
bells, yeah.
things. Yeah. I'm
Wow.
working my booty off,
I
trying to get stuff going.
Yeah, I just write for myself. I should quit my pizza job and then be forced to look for a writing job.
Well,
It's so easy.
one of the things that I did was I had a hard time. It's the old catch-22. They won't hire you without experience.
Sure.
You can't get experience anywhere because nobody will hire you.
Yeah.
And so I finally was like, you know what, fuck this. And so I, everyone wants you to know WordPress. Everyone wants you to know SEO basics. And so I was like, okay. So I signed myself up for a WordPress blog and I just write bullshit articles about stuff that I want to write about. And I'm like, that's going on my resume, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's great.
yeah,
So I should start a blog,
just do it.
and that'll
Do
be
it.
part of
Just
my.
start writing stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I write a little bit, so I could put it on the internet.
Yeah.
I just compile all my tweets into a paragraph. Call that good.
If it's something that you're passionate about writing, then it'll just cruise by. You know what I
Surely.
mean? You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
blow
yeah.
something out and then post it.
I'll just do the old James trick and look at a picture and then, write for
my
15
God.
minutes and call that
The
good.
same picture.
Yeah.
God.
All right. Well, I guess we're doing this again today, so I'm just going to keep writing something else. Do you have a day job, Pascal?
Voice acting. That's all I
That's
do, man.
all you're doing?
That's all I do. Pays the bills. It's
Hook
fun.
me up, dude. Do they
Yeah.
need like a husky voiced
Actually,
baritone?
I can hook you up with some connections. You can take a shot at it.
I'll
Why
send them
not?
some examples from the pod.
Absolutely.
I'll cut
Can
together
you send
some of
that clip right there?
Yeah. I'll send that, and then I'll send some of my worst characters. They're like, this guy's slurring. I'll be like, but it was the nog, bruh. No, thanks for being on, guys.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's been a
thank you for having
blast.
us.
Hey, everybody, stay tuned. You guys are going to be on all the streaming sites, right? With your
yeah,
podcast?
yeah.
Spotify and SoundCloud and iTunes for sure. Those
iTunes.
three.
iTunes and Spotify for sure, yeah.
And those are
Sounds
totally
mighty.
doable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So January 5th, Minnesota
January 4th.
Mysteries. January 4th, Minnesota Mysteries. Hey, it'll be out
Terrible
the 5th
host.
too. So
Minnesota Mysteries.
did I mess it up?
What?
Did I mess up the name of your podcast?
What did you just say?
Minnesota Mysteries?
No, yeah,
You
that's
got
right.
it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be a smashing success. You have much more of an audience than, Guy talks to himself. So,
Hopefully.
I'm rooting for you. Thanks
Thank
for being on.
you.
Enjoy the graduation.
Thank you.
We didn't talk about that. All right, whatever. Who cares? Bye.
Toodaloo.